Let's do this, motherfucker! Got some cooking videos to watch. Oh, Lord, we got some cooking videos to watch. Give everyone just a little bit of time to come on in here. Apparently, a professor at the center of a plagiarism controversy has been found dead. Longer baby names are making a comeback. El Said's half-sister, revealed as a radical lunatic professor, arrested for allegedly assaulting a cop at an anti-ICE riot. The WNBA still can't. The WNBA still can't get their head out of their ass. And apparently the influencer Clavicular shoots his shot with AOC. Even though I think he's like way younger than her, which typically isn't the way relationships go. Yes, of course, there are older women that do date younger men. Typically it's the other way around. But isn't Clavicular like sterile thanks to like abusing steroids when the fucker was like 10? Anyway, good old fucking Lookmaxer could try to get crazy socialist cunt in the fucking sheets. Let's start the live stream. Hatch green chili sausage.
So it is hatch green chili cheese. What? So it is hatch green chili season. Over here in the States, between around July to October, hatch green chilies are harvested. And if you don't know, hatch chilies are a specific type of chili pepper that can only be a hatch green chili if it has been grown and harvested in the Hatch Valley region of New Mexico. Anyway, I've never actually had them fresh, I've had them canned, but because I'm in Texas in July, they are on the supermarket shelves. So I thought the perfect way to put them to use is to make some fire roasted hatch green chili and cheese sausage. So I picked these up from H-E-B. H-E-B is a supermarket here in Texas. They actually smell really good. They're pretty big, kind of look like slimmer poblano peppers. Anyway, I'm gonna get these prepared by cooking them off, charring them, and de-seeding them before chopping them up for our sausage. So take them outside and get them over some flame. And I think a good way to get these charred off is to use the chud box as it's here. And this is actually set up with the grill basket in. Looking good enough. Get these hot coals spread out, get these chilies on. And I want to get these really charred up. Get some nice blackened color on them. Give these a little flip. Ooh, nice. These are looking nice and roasty and nice and soft. So take them off, get them into a bowl. They smell incredible. And then take them inside.
Plastic wrap.
Get them covered. You can put them into a Ziploc bag. They're gonna steam and soften up and make it really easy to pull those blackened skins off. Put these to the side. While those chilies sweat out, I'm gonna weigh up and cube up some cheese. I've got a block of Monterey Jack here. I think it's gonna work really well. I wanted to do Havarti, but I couldn't find it in block form. So I'm gonna weigh up and dice up this cheese. Now I'm just going to turn it into cubes, and the easiest way to do that, cut it into a slice, cut it into some strips. Little cubes about that big, just small enough that they'll fit through the horn of the stuffer. That is all weighed up and diced up, and I put this onto a bigger tray with some parchment paper on the bottom because, as you'd expect, I want to get a really good hand bind on these sausages. And Monterey Jack is a very soft cheese. If I put these little cubes into the sausage farce as they are right now, by the time I finish binding it, these are all going to be mushed up and there won't be those nice studded chunks of cheese throughout the sausage. So to give myself a little bit more headroom to play with, I'm going to put them in the freezer, firm them up, and I should be able to bind these into the sausage without squashing.
Yeah, one of the things I've done when I've done like blue cheese stuffed burgers is freeze the cheese, add it to the meat, then damn near freeze the burgers.
Them all.
Then grill them.
Not a critical step, but worth doing. These have rested down, sweated out a little bit. Time to peel them and dice them up. Now that they've sweated out, they will peel really, really easily. So I'm going to get all of that off, take off the stalk, open this up, remove the seeds with the back of my knife, and there I've got some nice fire roasted hatch green chilies. Skins off and mostly de-seeded. Next thing I'm going to do, again, probably not critical, but I think it's going to result in a much better sausage, and that is to slightly dehydrate these. These naturally contain a huge amount of water, like most peppers, and because we've cooked them, a lot of that water has started to come out, and when it comes to sausage making, you really want to be able to control the amount of water that's going into your sausage, and this is going to go into the...
Water. Is this Andrew Tate speaking? Oh, no, of course not, because this guy's cooking.
Toaster oven, which happens to have a dehydration setting, and they won't go in there for long, just to take off most of that surface moisture. And if you don't have a toaster oven with a specific dehydration setting, you could just pop them in your oven on a low heat until they dry out. In preparation for actually making this sausage, I'm going to pull together all of my spices and liquids. Not something that you have to do. I find that everything incorporates easier and it hydrates all the spices. Anyway, starting off with salt. Full recipe will be down below, obviously. Milk powder for that bind insurance. Jalapeno powder for some extra heat. Some cumin powder because I want to give it a bit of a Tex-Mex vibe. Some garlic powder, mustard powder, black pepper, curing salt because we're going to be curing these sausages, because we're going to be curing and cold smoking these sausages. And lastly, a bit of MSG. Then I'm going to go on with about 8% water. Mix this all around into a slurry. Again, this is definitely not essential, don't have to do this. I like to do it if I'm ahead and I've weighed all my ingredients out. Set that to the side and let everything come together. After an hour or so, these are coming out and they are, hopefully you can see, much more dry. Then I'm just going to go through and finally dice these up. These can go into the fridge to cool down. Don't want to be adding anything warm to our sausage.
Right, my name is Dave, and I'm about to make some bloody links. In it?
I'm leaving that in.
Are you recording?
Yeah. Time to make some actual sausage. Now I've got all the prep work out of the way.
All right, that was funny.
What I've got here is about 3.5 kilos of brisket trim. Lean brisket meat, brisket fat, and it's about a 70-30 split of lean to fat as usual. And I'm gonna put it through this grinder. It's been in the freezer for about half an hour, so it's nice and cold. Gonna get that nice studded fat. We really don't want the fat to melt because we're trying to make an emulsion, and if the fat renders and melts, the emulsion may split and we'll end up with a crumbly sausage. That's really the goal.
Then we'll end up
All
with nothing.
ground up, nice and pebbly, as I say. Time to add our ingredients and make up this sausage. So the first thing gonna go in is our slurry with our spices. This has got all our salt, our pink salt, our milk powder, all mixed with the water. It's gonna make it a lot easier to evenly disperse all that kind of stuff. Then our hatch green chilies, our fire roasted hatch green chilies. And then we just need to get in there with our hands and mix this all around. And I'm not gonna go in with the cheese just yet because although it's been nice and frozen, I really don't want it to start melting with the heat of my hands. So we're gonna get this about 70% of the way hand mixed, and then we'll throw in that cheese. So that's pretty much 70% of the way there. Gonna throw in our cheese. Brad, would you get the cheese?
Oh, God.
Oh. And then get all this mixed in. So that's feeling good, and you can see even after all that mixing, these cheese cubes are still cubes, which is exactly what I was going for. Get it in some hog casings. Ugh. Get this into the stuffer, make sure that there are no air pockets. Then I've just got some hog casings which I've been soaking in some water. These are 29 32 mil.
In what?
and then case them as tight
Did you make tens of millions of dollars kickboxing?
as I can, just before they get to a point where they feel like they might pop. Pinch it, twist, and keep going.
Nice and plump.
So that is all of our sausage cased up. These are going to go onto a tray with a wire rack and then into the fridge overnight to cure. Casings are going to dry out. The little twists at the end are going to dry out, and then we'll be cold smoking them tomorrow. Into the fridge, these go overnight. It is the next day. These have dried out nicely in the fridge. Going to get these onto the 250-gallon pit, nice and smoky post-oak fire, and get them cold
Those look fucking fantastic.
smoked or cooler smoked. It's so cold inside in the air conditioning and so hot and humid out here this morning, the lens is fogged up. These are looking real good. Probably cook these around maybe 165. Take them up to an internal temperature of about 155. We're really just looking to build loads of color and loads of smoke flavor. Shut that down, nice smoky post-oak fire. Come back a little bit. After about 3 or 4 hours, these are temping perfectly around 155, so I'm gonna throw
Then you weren't cold smoking, bro. Cold smoking means the fire doesn't get above 95 degrees.
them into an ice bath. This is going to stop the cooking process. I took them off at a very specific temperature. I don't want them to go too hot, split the cheese, or cause the fat to render out and turn oily. It's also going to set the casing tight against the meat. It's going to shock it, it's going to tighten up, it's going to bind to that meat a little bit better, and you're going to get a much more snappier skin. And also sausage like this tends to shrivel up if you allow it to cool naturally. So what we've got is some non-shriveled sausages. Once these have fully chilled down, we'll take them out, clean them up a little bit, let them dry, and they can go back in the fridge until we're ready to reheat.
That's odd, because I always heard cold water leads to shrinkage.
Heat them and eat them. Right, so we're back. We reheated some of these on the little pit outside, and they are looking very good. Yummy. Looking forward to this.
I can't wait. Snap it.
I'll let you snap it.
Ooh, that looks nice and juicy though. Look at that cheese and the chilies. I'm gonna take a big bite. Mmm. Whoa.
Good?
Oh my god, yeah.
Looks very juicy.
What's the mix on this?
All beef. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All beef? Wow.
Yeah.
That is delicious.
Mm.
Juicy, cheesy.
All right. We're gonna do this asshole again. Spatchcock and roasted chicken.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to my kitchen. You know, there are some days that I just really have a taste for roast chicken. Now, most people don't think about roast chicken as being part of Mexican cuisine. I mean, unless you think about all of those places that do the rotisserie chickens, you can find them in all the cities. There's
I don't think of Mexican cuisine when I see you, because I see a pretentious white motherfucker.
the roadside stalls that will do the butterflied chickens that they do over charcoal. Then not exactly roast chicken. Roast chicken really comes more from the European tradition, but that doesn't mean that you can't make one that could satisfy your love for both roast chicken and Mexican flavors. Okay, so that's what
I don't mind Mexican flavors, but I'm not fucking married to them.
I'm going to show you how to do today. And I will tell you, I don't ever roast a chicken whole. I always butterfly it, or what's called spatchcocking it. And I'm just going to show you how easy that is to do, because I know a lot of you probably are afraid to do this. You will need either a sharp knife or a pair of kitchen shears. I will tell you, I use my kitchen shears for all kinds of things. So if you don't have any kitchen shears, this might go on your holiday wish list, okay? So the first thing that we have to do is talk about what kind of chicken that you want to
Holiday wish list? They're like $5.
get, and the better the chicken, the more flavorful it will be. This is one that's about 4.5 pounds. That's a good roasting size chicken. And this one is a free range one that's fed on organic feed. It's about as good as you could possibly get. And I will tell you, the flavor of it is really different than what you would find in most grocery store chickens, okay? Now, what we're going to do to spatchcock it or to butterfly it is to remove this part of it here. We want to cut out the backbone of it. So I always start with it standing on the neck end like this, so I can hold it, and then using my kitchen shears, I'm just going to go down both sides of the backbone here and cut through the small bones that are holding it in there. And I'm only going to go about halfway down. Okay, you can see what that looks like there. And then I'm going to go over to the other side and do exactly the same thing. Just cut down that side until I'm about halfway through. Because once you get about halfway through, as I've shown you there, you can actually just break it open like that. And then you can cut this piece of it off, and that will be out of your way. I don't try to usually do the whole thing in one fell swoop, okay? So that last little piece there, got that out, and we're going to set that over. Now, the second part of it you can do with the shears. We're moving into the rib bones here, or you could pick up your knife and just go into it like this, because you have something easier to see and to hold on to. And of course, you need a large knife to do this, but lots of people just feel comfortable doing this with the kitchen shears as well. But so I am reseat it there, and then just go down this side of it, all the way down here to the neck end of it. And then I can actually use my hands to just open it up like this. And I'm grabbing it and just turn it like that. Okay, so now I have broken it free. My shears can just come in here and cut the skin, the last bit of skin off. And then we have the backbone out. That's the hard part of it. The next part of it is just using your body weight here to flatten it like that. And you should hear
So it's
this
basically be a
little crunch when you
chiropractor.
do that, which means that you are loosening the sternum. Now, what do I mean by the sternum here? Let's go in here and look. Okay, so this part right here is the sternum, and right below the sternum there is cartilage here. If this was a smaller bird, I would have broken this completely free, and I would reach in there and just pull it out and pull the cartilage out, and then it would make for really even and easy carving at the table, okay, which is what I always try to make sure that everybody has. But I'm going to show you how to carve and make a pretty presentation on a platter as well. Okay, so there we are with the spatchcocked chicken. With the big ones like this, I don't try to go in there and take the sternum and the cartilage out or anything like that. But at this point, I'm going to go in and make this really beautiful little flavoring mixture that we're going to put under the skin for roasting. But give me just a second to go wash my hands. All right. Now, the flavorings that we're going to use here are going to be lime and garlic and some chile de árbol, or if you have just chili flakes, you could use that in this. But I am using a zester here to take off all of the colored part of the rind, what's called the zest of the citrus, and I'm using lime for this. Of course, that's my choice for this particular.
I'm going to be right back.
Mexican flavor, but that doesn't mean you can't use lemon for something like this, or even orange zest would be delicious here, but I'm working with a large lime, and I am just taking all the zest of it off. Okay, so now I've gotten roughly everything off of that. Set that aside. We've got chile de árbol, which is this sort of wrinkle-skinned little workhorse of the Mexican kitchen. It's used mostly for...
I really have got to start getting to know my dried peppers better.
for heat, not so much for flavor, though it does have a gentle nuttiness to it. And I'm going to chop that up. Now, if you had one of those little tiny food processors, you could just put these into the food processor and let it
have
chop
one of
for
them.
you. And when you see what I do with the garlic next, you'll say, I think maybe I need to invest in one of those little tiny food processors.
God, it's not
This
an
is not
investment.
enough.
It's not an investment. It's like $30. If that. Jesus Christ, these people act like goddamn everything is an investment. No, here's an investment. You put money into something. You expect or hope to get a positive ROI. Getting a food processor is just an expense.
Quantity for my regular food processor, so I have to do this part of it by hand. So I'm making this look like chili flakes, so when I said to you, yeah, could be substituted with those chili flakes, you can see why right now. Okay, so you can see that we've got the chilies all chopped up there, and now we're going to do the 6 cloves of garlic here, and I'm just going to slice them first and then chop them in with the chilies and the zest of the lime. Now we'll scrape all of this stuff together, and then just using that standard rock and chop, I'm going to just put the whole thing together. This is where all the flavors kind of get mingled together, so you just rock and chop across your mixture back and forth. All right, we've got very finely chopped flavoring mixture, and I am going to take out about a tablespoon of it. Separate that out. That's going to flavor a brothy sauce that we're going to serve with this. So now let's go back and work on the chicken. Okay, so you might wonder, why did I go to all that work to spatchcock it? And why don't I just do the whole roast chicken? Because whole roast chickens never cook evenly. The breast will always be done before the thighs are done, and so you have an uneven, usually what people do is overcook the breast because it's the first thing that's done, okay? When you're working with a spatchcock chicken like this, you will find that it all cooks at the same time. It also is just so much easier to work with once you get it finished and you're carving it up, which I'll show you in a bit. Okay, next step here is I'm going to loosen the skin. I usually start with the breast on this end of it down here, and I just take my hand and go in between the flesh and the skin, working my fingers deep in here, freeing the skin from the flesh all the way down as far as I can reach toward the tapering end of the breast, and then coming over toward the wing. Now I'm doing this gently so that I don't rip the skin at all here. Okay, so that's very freed there. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the second side of the breast. Just opening it up like that. I usually work with 2 fingers because it means that I probably won't rip the skin. If I try to put more fingers in there, then it tends to rip. Okay, so just freeing it up, and as far as I can reach toward the taper end, that's there. Now the next part is to free the skin here on the thigh, and I always go in right here at the thigh bone here, and the first reach in, just to sort of like loosen it there, little tiny rip in the skin there. I want to have as little of that as possible, and then again using the two fingers, I'm going to free up the skin there, but I'm working really hard not to rip that skin anymore on that side. Again, going in over here on the thigh side and freeing the skin just a little bit, and then running my fingers in here and freeing down toward the leg. And now we're going to take this flavoring mixture here and in the pockets that we've made, we're going to put a portion of this mixture in here and just work it all the way down. You'll be amazed at what this tastes like. We're going to let this sit overnight. To dry brine is what I'm going to call it. We're going to
All right, we're doing commando style again.
salt it and let it sit. And in that overnight sit, these flavors are just going to permeate and perfume the flesh of this beautiful, beautiful roasting chicken. Okay, now I'm going to turn this guy around so that we can take the last bits of it here and go into the thigh and leg area. So I'm going to just put it in like that and then use two fingers to push it all the way down in there. Okay. We're getting close to done here. I need to rinse my hands off, and then I'm going to show you how we go to the salting part of it. Now, most of you think of brine as water and salt, and it makes the chicken really juicy. Now, I'm not using that here because it also takes away crispness from the skin. Instead, I'm just sprinkling with salt, what they call a dry brine, and it makes the skin absolutely perfect while ensuring juiciness in the chicken. Now back to the recipe. Okay, you have to remember that I am using diamond crystal salt. It has double the volume of your regular table salt. So if you're using diamond crystal like I am, you will take 1 tablespoon of this salt and you will evenly sprinkle it over the chicken. On the inside, I will start with the inside first here. Now it looks like awful amounts of salt, that this is going to come out really salty. It will not. Flip it over and then another tablespoon of salt. If you're using regular table salt, you will be using 1 tablespoon divided by into the front and the back. Now what happens is that the salt will be absorbed into all of this meat and it will season it so that when you finish roasting this chicken, it will be seasoned all the way through. You won't have to put any more salt on the top of it. Last thing here, before we put this guy away, I have a rimmed baking sheet. I covered it with foil because it just makes it so much easier for the cleanup. You don't have to do that, but you will have some scrubbing going on here. But no. I take the salted bird and lay it on a rack over this foil-lined rimmed baking sheet, and then I put it into the refrigerator. I do this the day before, and I let it sit for 24 hours to do a dry brine. So I will show you what it looks like in 24 hours. Okay, this is what it looks like after 24 hours uncovered in the refrigerator. The skin has darkened a little bit and it's quite dry looking. That will ensure crispy skin on the chicken. You can see the little
my
bits
God,
of chili
no wonder
flake
your
all over
chicken's
it. That not
dry!
only looks beautiful, but I will say that it will add extra flavor to the skin. Now, I've got my oven heated to 450 degrees, and I'm going to just drizzle the skin here with a little bit of oil. And just so that I make sure that it's evenly distributed here, I'm going to use a brush to go all over it. You could use your hands if you would like to, just to massage the skin with the oil. That looks completely covered now. And both for flavor and for beauty, I like to put a lot of black pepper over the top of it. Okay. Just like that. All right. Now we're ready to put it into the oven to roast. I'm going to set a timer for about 45 minutes. If your chicken is smaller than this one, you're going to want to shave off a bit of that time there. Now my oven rack is in the middle of the oven, and that's going to go into that really hot oven and roast for 45 minutes before we check it. Now I've got this pot here with 3 cups of chicken broth in it, and I'm setting it over medium-high fire because I want to bring it to a boil. This is some really lovely homemade chicken broth, but you can easily do this with some good quality canned chicken broth or the kinds that come in the UHT packages. And remember that we
Like a
saved out
cigar?
about a tablespoon of the flavoring mix with the chili and the garlic and the lime zest, and I'm going to scrape that into this pot. Once this comes to a rolling boil, then I'm going to turn it down to a brisk simmer and let it reduce by half. Then we'll season it at the very end, enrich it with just a little bit of butter and a dash of Worcestershire sauce, and we're going to have this stunningly delicious brothy sauce to go with our roast chicken. So this is a total now of this 4.5 pound chicken of almost 55 minutes. At 45, I got out my handy dandy instant read thermometer and checked it, but it wasn't quite there. At the very, very thickest part here, I want to see that it is about 150 degrees. This is registering right now 147 there. That will be perfect for that. And then I want to kind of go in here at the thickest part of the thigh and see about 170. This is reading 167. That should be, I'd rather be a couple degrees under than over. So I've checked it several times after that 45-minute time, that initial roasting, but just look how gorgeous that is. It is the perfect roast chicken with really gorgeous crispy skin. Now here's the thing. You have to let it rest. You don't want to take it right out and start carving it. You want to let it rest. I suggest 5 to 10 minutes, no less than 5. 10's probably better. But if you want to roast it and hold it for, say, 20 minutes, that's fine. Just take a piece of foil and just kind of lay it gently over. You don't want to steam it. You just want to capture a little bit of the heat that's there. Now, I've got my reduced broth over here. I want to see what it tastes like. Okay, so this was a salted broth. A lightly salted broth, but now it's a fully salted broth. And I'm going to turn the temperature under it up a little bit. And I'm going to whisk in some butter. 3 tablespoons is what I like to put in this. So I'm going to get it in there and then keep whisking on it. And then just to boost the savoriness of this, boost the umami, just about a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, not too much. and that will give you that extra boost of savoriness. Again, the better the stock for this, the more delicious it's going to be. So in about 5 to 10 minutes, I'll meet you back here and I'll show you how to carve this beauty. Okay, here's the carving tutorial. So I'm going to pick this gently up. I don't want to bust the skin or anything, and transfer it over here. And then what I want to do is to go not straight down the middle, because then I'm going to hit that sternum. So I'm going to go just a little bit to one side of that sternum there, and then go all the way down to the bottom. Okay. Now at the top here, I'm going to have to like lean into it and cut through, but it's not a hard thing. Okay. So right there. And then I'm going to take the leg and thigh portions off. So you kind of go around the leg like that, and it should come off pretty simply. You can just kind of bend it back and look at that. Okay. Now, what I like to do with the leg and thigh is to go down in here between the leg and thigh joint like that. We will start with putting the leg right here. And then I like to cut the thigh into 2 portions so that everybody can have small pieces of different parts of it. You can do as you choose. You could do what I'm doing. So it's right down beside the thigh bone. So I'll put that one there.
So
and
one
that
person
one
gets a
there,
good
and
chunk
then
of
this
meat,
little
the other
one
person gets a
here,
crappy chunk
and
of
then
meat.
with the breast, what I like to do is cut the wing bone off, but cut a little bit of the breast meat with it, so that it's a nice portion. So I'll go back down through those little bones that are at the bottom, the rib bones there. And we'll put that over there. And then I'll cut this portion into 2, like that. Again, just going down into it. And then I'm going to just kind of reassemble all of this here. Okay.
So you have pieces
Now,
that have no meat
all
on
the
them,
same
and
stuff
you
on the other
have
side.
pieces with a shit ton of meat on them.
Okay, now we have it sort of reassembled there. And the last thing that we have to do is talk about this sauce here, which has got the butter in it and the little dash of Worcestershire sauce there. It's ready to go. You could actually make that ahead of time if you want to, and just reheat it, because there's a lot of last minute things here.
Not
Because
compared to
this
half a
is
chicken
a
breast.
Mexican flavored roast chicken,
That's where like
I'm going to
90% of the
suggest that you
chicken
put
or
a
meat
whole
on a
bunch of
chicken is.
lime wedges here so that people could sprinkle that over your finished roast chicken. And what I'm going to do here is to take this really beautiful and flavorful sauce, and I'm going to just pour it over. You might want to put this into a sauce boat or a pitcher so that everybody, as they take their pieces, can then come get a little bit of the broth. But I just wanted to show you what this looks like if you choose to pour this gorgeous sauce over the top of it. I will say there you've got, I'm going to flip that guy over there. You've got a really beautiful roast chicken, easy to do, perfect to execute, and with gorgeous Mexican flavors. I hope you'll tackle doing this spatchcocked roast chicken with Mexican flavors.
Didn't know what the hell was so Mexican about it, but whatever. Next. Alright, this is something about a drill sergeant.
Welcome back to Grill Sergeant's Barbecue Spinoff. My name is Andrew Rogan. What makes this show fun is I have no idea what I'm going to cook what I'm going to cook on or what seasonings I'm going to use, but a random wheel picker does. Now, what makes this show fun is you guys get to pick the meat. So if you want to see your meat choice in the next episode, make sure in the comment section to leave your meat choice, because when we build the next episode, we're going to be looking at this video's comments. All right, guys, let's get up the wheel. Today's meat choices are elk steaks, beef jerky, pork steaks, chicken quarters, and bologna chub. Let's see what we're gonna get. And bologna chub. All right. As far as grills go, we have the Pit Boss Navigator, the Pit Boss Cowboy Fire Pit, the Pit Boss Tabletop Charcoal, the Pit Boss 1020DX Combo, and the Pit Boss Ultimate Griddle. Let's see what we get.
Sponsored by goddamn Pit Boss.
The Pit Boss Navigator series. Now, as far as rubs go, we have Pit Boss's Sweet Heat, the Smoked Salt and Pepper, Maple Chipotle, Alberta Black Gold, or Prime Beef. Let's see what we get. Pit Boss's Sweet Heat. Now I'm going to run to the store and get the ingredients. Let's get started on this cook. Bologna chub. You know what? This is something that I've seen around a lot of times, and in the 7 years of doing YouTube, I have never done smoked bologna before, and so we're going to check that off the bucket list today. This is a bologna chub, and this is where when they slice it thin, all your childhood memories come from this piece right here, but we're going to smoke it whole, so let's do it. It's like a big giant hot dog. Could you imagine just eating? Hey, does anyone want an 11-pound hot dog? We're gonna smoke it whole, but we're going to pretty much score the bologna chub. So I'm gonna come in here, and then we're gonna pretty much score this way. And you're going down maybe about 1/2 inch, and then we're just going to basically make 1/2 inch scores all around it. Right there, very good. And so now we're gonna come along this way and then do another score this way, and you're just gonna try to line these as best you can. And the last one.
Why are you wearing gloves?
All right, there we go. Going to look really cool, and then when you slice it, it's going to have this really cool like star effect. Now we're going to get out some mustard. This mustard is going to act like a binder, so we are going to get some mustard on this thing. All right, now I have the Pit Boss Sweet Heat here. We are going to coat this generously in barbecue rub. Now the cool thing about the Pit Boss Sweet Heat.
Okay, so you wear a glove to touch something that's been pre-cooked. But you won't get a new glove out when most of the rub you're sprinkling on is going to stick to the fucking glove. By the way, I don't know why you decided to leave the face of your bologna like a porn star after a long shoot.
This is going to pair up perfectly with this bologna. It's going to have a nice bark. It's going to have some really good sweetness to it. And it's going to have a little kick. So it's going to be, I mean, we are going to be making some bologna sandwiches that are out of this world. Very good. All right. Let's get this onto the smoker. So I got the Pit Boss running at 275 degrees. We're just going to get this down right here. And the beautiful thing about that is we can just let it sit and chill here in the smoke. We'll check back in about 3 hours. All right, it's been 3 hours. Let's check on our chub. Ooh, look at that. Man, that is awesome. That bark is set. So I have some candy jalapeno barbecue sauce, and we are just going to paint this bologna. We'll let it go for about another half hour. Look at that. Let's get her onto the board. Oh man, that is so cool. So now we're almost done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and we're going to start cutting these into slices. Kind of looks like the Red Hot Chili Peppers logo. All right, have some more of our barbecue sauce. I'm gonna paint the tops of these. And we'll give these a flip in probably about 15 minutes. Ooh, looking good. Let's give these all a flippy flip. All right, now let's sauce this side. All right, let these go for about 15 minutes, then we'll pull them. Get ready for a taste test. All right, who's hungry? I am. Loving the color, loving the char and bark on the side. Let's start making a sandwich. We're gonna put down a brioche bun. I have some Duke's mayo, some pickled red onions, and then some dill pickle chips. So first thing we're gonna do is get some mayo down.
It's still looking good. Jared Subway is still looking good. Love them sandwiches.
There we have it. Our bologna chub sandwich. Bologna sandwich time. Here we go. Little taste test. This is unreal. And this is a hearty sandwich too. Oh my gosh. There is so many flavors going on, but this is absolutely delicious.
Take your breakfast and eat hearty, my lads. Tonight, we dine in hell.
Just. Well, I'm going to make about 8 more of these. Feed the family. If you haven't already, do consider subscribing to the Grill Sergeant and Pit Boss YouTube channel to stay on top of all these cooks. And leave a meat choice in the comment section so when we build the next video, we could spin it. And maybe we're going to be cooking what you comment. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Grill Sergeant out.
All right, easy baked meatball subs.
Cutting around the tops of our hoagie rolls and then peel the top of that hoagie roll off. We're just gonna push the insides of our hoagies down to make a nice cavity. We're just gonna put a nice layer of sauce down. You know we gotta add some pepperonis, so we're gonna put 4 into the bottom of each.
So, God forbid that you actually just, you know, I don't know, make the fucking marinara yourself. It's not that hard.
One. And after we've laid down all of our pepperoni, you know we got to add some cheese. We have sliced string cheese open, and we are just going to place those into the bottom of each hoagie. We have frozen meatballs that have been defrosted. I know you guys gave me a hard time last time because I didn't defrost the meatballs. Now we're going to make some delicious garlic butter. I've melted half a stick of butter.
So you couldn't even be bothered to make the fucking meatballs yourself? Seriously, you went with the old Simics?
We're gonna put about a teaspoon of garlic powder in there and about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning and just give that.
You've seen my marinara. Well, I've seen your grandmother's cunt. And it wasn't pleasant.
A little mix. We're just gonna brush this delicious garlic butter on top of each of our sliders. Now we're gonna get our squeezable pasta sauce and we're just gonna give a little drizzle on top of these sliders here. After we've added our sauce, we're gonna add a little more mozzarella. This time, we're just gonna go directly on top of everything. And we're gonna hit it with that Italian seasoning one last time. We just want a nice dusting on top. And our oven is preheated to 350 degrees. We're gonna throw these in for about 20 minutes. Our meatball subs are done.
Well, one, I don't care if she's dead, but... Okay, I'll rephrase. That's her cunt in the state it's in right now.
And they look delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and cut into one of these. We're just gonna scoop this out onto our plate. That is amazing. And we're just cutting around the tops of our hoagie rolls and then peel the top.
All right. Cheesy beef and shells from, I guess, Lacey Peterson.
And quick dinner idea, you have to try out these cheesy beef and shells. This kind of reminds me of the Hamburger Helper cheeseburger macaroni, but so much better. This one is
Lady, Hamburger Helper's bar is set in hell, so that ain't that impressive, sweetie.
really simple to make, so let me show you how to make it. You'll start by browning your onion and ground beef and then draining off any excess grease. You'll then add the seasonings I have listed below for you in the cap.
Easiest way to do that is put a bowl, put a colander, drain the beef, grease goes into the bowl, grease hardens, throw it in the trash tomorrow.
Along with some minced garlic and flour. Once your flour cooks down, you'll add in your liquid, which is a mixture of beef broth and 2 cans of tomato sauce. You'll then mix this around so everything is well combined and cover it with a lid to bring it to a boil. While the liquid is boiling, I'm going to go ahead and cook 1 pound of small shells. Once your sauce comes to a boil, you'll add in your heavy cream and cheese, which makes everything so creamy and rich. You'll mix everything up so that your cheese melts and then add your shells right into the sauce. Once the noodles are covered in the sauce, I'm adding another layer of cheese and then covering this with a lid just so that the cheese can melt down. This also helps the sauce to thicken and solidify. We served ours with some breadsticks and broccoli, and dinner was done. If you need an easy and quick dinner idea, you
And apparently this is Julia Roberts' favorite sandwich from this guy.
Sandwich. I'm making actors' favorite sandwiches, and today is the pretty woman herself. Julia Roberts is one of the most successful actresses of the 90s and early 2000s. She's won 3 Golden Globes and 1
Honestly, but I don't mean to be a dick. What the fuck else has she done? I mean, seriously, since like 2005, ever since like Erin Brockovich. Has anybody heard from that bitch?
Academy Award for her roles in movies like Erin Brockovich, Steel Magnolias, and Pretty Woman. During the peak of her career, she made history as the first actress to be paid $20 million for a role. To put that in perspective, it was the same rate that male stars like Tom Cruise, Mel Gibson, and Tom Hanks were being paid at the time. Did you know that a lot of her family members were also in show business?
Yeah, except there's just one thing. Julia Roberts is an ultra rare breed for a woman. Or an actress. Most people, even today, in our enlightened age, don't go to movies for the chick. All she has to be is hot. There's a reason Megan Fox was successful. It wasn't acting ability. Anyway, Julia Roberts can actually act. But still, generally speaking, nobody goes to the movies for the check. That's just bonus.
Her siblings Eric and Lisa were both actors, as well as her niece Emma Roberts. Julia's favorite sandwich is a Southern classic from her hometown of Atlanta, Georgia. Peanut butter and jelly with sour cream and onion potato chips smashed between 2 pieces of white toast. I thought there was no chance of this tasting good, but I was pleasantly surprised. If you don't believe me, try it for yourself. The Julia Roberts sandwich. I'm making actors' favorite sandwiches, and today is the pretty woman herself. Julia Roberts is one of the most successful actresses of the 90s and early 2000s. She's
Okay, we'll do baked swordfish from Lydia Bastianich.
Baked swordfish. Now I know swordfish baking, it's easy, it's delicious. Swordfish is a meaty fish, full of flavor, and it bakes well. Just don't overbake it. So, We're gonna bake it with some tomatoes and it's gonna be a complete meal. Let's make the bread topping first, which is very simple. So some breadcrumbs, grated grana cheese. Okay, just a little bit of salt for the bread. The cheese is salted. Let's get some fresh basil to give it that freshness. So just some nice basil leaves. You know, this bread topping is so versatile for fish, for vegetables. I'm putting basil, but if you don't have basil or if you prefer parsley, you can put parsley, or you can put, you know, mint or any of the other herbs that you like. So you can change this kind of dressing, this crusty bread, to any flavor that you'd like. What's important is that we put some oil. And you kind of mix it until it gets crumbly. So that it's not soaked with oil, but it has enough dressing in it. And then when it's in the oven, under the heat, it will cooked into a nice crisp topping. All right, so here we are. So that's that. Let me get the tomatoes, because we're baking the swordfish and we're baking it with tomatoes in the same, but the tomatoes take a little longer, so we'll begin with the tomatoes. Okay, wash tomatoes, and very simple. Just cut them in half, just like that. So what you want is a medium size, you know, one portion. This is for one person. You want them ripe, but you don't want them overripe because they will just plop in the oven. Just cut them in half. Let's get the baking sheet ready. A little bit of oil. Here we'll put some wine because we have to make the sauce on the bottom. Once we cook the tomatoes for about 20 minutes, then we'll add the fish right here. So we have here white wine, peperoncino. We have a little bit of vinegar. Vinegar is an astringent, so especially when you're cooking fish, it's nice. It keeps the fish in one piece. I'll put a little bit of salt here. Let me just whisk it a little bit. Put it right in the pan here. Okay. Let's take the tomato. Just a little bit salt on the tomato. You know, I always talk to you, I like to season every single ingredient separately. Fine. But you have to be careful because then it amounts, it adds up. So we'll put, this is as simple as it is, you see? And this will bake nice and crispy on top. We'll save some for the fish as well. A little drizzle for the tomato of oil. And we'll put this in the oven. Okay, at 400 degrees for 20 minutes, and it'll be halfway through, and then we'll add the fish. So let's go clean the swordfish. Swordfish, this is a beautiful cut of swordfish. Of course, the skin, what you want is basically, you want to remove the bloodlines, but let's do it this way. Let's cut it in half like this. And to do the skin, a nice butcher knife goes good, or if you have a fish knife. And what you do is you begin to cut.
Well, you can pick up a fishing knife at any goddamn Walmart. They're about $5.
On one end. Okay, let's see. Just like that. For individual pieces, why don't you just clean off, just like you do, you peel an orange, and cut out the bloodline. just like that. Trim it and pull it together. Now this will be a little flap, and that's okay. If you want to have just the heart, you can remove this, all this meat, if you have a big medallion of swordfish, and you can freeze it, and you make a great pasta dish with that. But here we have, nice and clean. Let's do the next. Let's remove the bloodline right here. And again, pull it together.
I believe that was an inhale. Get ginger here, fuck.
Okay, so we're ready. I'll clean up. The tomatoes should be halfway done. And we'll add the fish, and then we'll let it finish cooking.
No, I've never gone deep sea fishing to juice.
Well, looking perfect, just at the right time, in time to add the swordfish right here. So let's season a little bit the swordfish, just a little bit of salt, a little drizzle of oil. Let's set it in place, not keep on, this is hot now, so the fish is beginning to cook already, so let's move it. All right, like that. The breadcrumbs, just spread it, not too thick, just nice and evenly around the fish. That's beautiful. So now let's build the sauce around the fish. Little capers, just like that. Chopped parsley. Just like that. I think we need a little bit more of wine to make a little bit more of the stock.
Now that I have never seen. I've never seen wine added to a baking sheet. I've never seen any setup like this.
Just a drizzle of oil to make sure the fish gets enough oil. So this is ready to go back in the oven. And for about 20 minutes.
Never seen that setup for the oven.
It's more. This will be all finished. Now make sure when you cook fish, high temperature, short time in the oven is best for the fish. So let's get it in the oven. Ooh. Now, this looks delicious. Let's do it. This is just perfect. So let's get quickly the potatoes going. I have some boiled potatoes, still warm. I'll put them right in here. Let's make the sauce for the potatoes, which is lots of parsley. Let me get some, maybe a few more leaves of parsley here. And mint. I see some nice mint here. I have here a lot of mint. Okay. This is a great sauce. I use it here with the potatoes. It's great, but you can use it with chicken, with whatever you'd like. A little bit of vinegar, just a little bit of vinegar to give that acidity. A little bit of salt. Okay. A little bit of olive oil. Okay, this is a condiment. I think that's enough. Let me just, you know how I always taste things. It's good. You should always taste. A little bit of salt missing. Now also keep in mind, the potatoes need a little salt. And always save some sauce. Don't always put everything. I always tell you that because it might be too much. So let's put some here. And you can either save it for next time or put some more. So I left the potatoes whole here. Look how beautiful they look. I left the potatoes whole here, but you know, you can crush them with a fork or cut them, and this way you get more flavor into the potato itself, but it looks beautiful like that. So, okay, I'm getting ready to plate here. The fish is ready. I need a little wine too. If we're gonna taste fish, white wine, great white wine is nice. Vespa, this is great. I have a few extra forks here just in case you're gonna stop by, but let's do it. The swordfish, you see, it's nice, still nice and soft. Let's put it right in the middle. 1 tomato per guest, so 2 halves. I think 1 potato or 2 potato. What do you think? Let me do this
2
one
potatoes.
here as well. Okay.
I haven't held anything in my lungs for a long time. Well, when I was a teen, it was cigarettes. It wasn't pot. And actually, for most of the first half of my adulthood, or third, however long I lived, me and pot did not get along. It's only been like the last, I'd say, 6 months where we're starting to become friends.
I will grab some of the sauce of the fish.
But I haven't smoked cigarettes for, oh, Jesus Christ, probably going on 20 years now. And, you know, I smoke cigars, but you don't inhale that smoke. Or at least you really, really shouldn't. So while I do inhale, I only keep it down there for maybe a second or a half a second, then blow it out. That was the first time I ever tried to hold my fucking breath. And it didn't do me a goddamn thing. I get better reactions just rapidly mixing alcohol with it. Or alcohol with it. Well, alcohol, but oxygen too.
And not necessarily put them right on top of the fish because I like the breadcrumbs to remain nice and crunchy. Let me just get a little bit of parsley just to decorate it a little bit. Are we ready? Let me taste. Let's do the swordfish. È delizioso, buonissimo, just enough acidity, the capers, the mellowness, the crunchiness of the breadcrumbs. I'll get to the potatoes and the tomatoes, but the fish is just excellent. Salute. A little mint just does the trick, freshens everything up.
I'd eat the shit out of that. And I've only had swordfish once, and it was okay. let's get to Michael Simmons, his wife, and their sex slave.
Hey everybody, welcome to Simply Simons. We are cooking out in the backyard here in Venice Beach. Lovely morning. I am going to make Liz a frittata.
Great. I love frittata.
With some leftover stuff because Nick overorders. You know, there's 8 of us here and he ordered lunch for 42. So we had some stuff in the fridge. So I'm gonna make a frittata with potatoes, spinach, some feta, shallot, garlic.
Sounds delicious.
Fun stuff. And what are you gonna make today?
I am going to make a like a brunchy coffee drink. It's sort of similar to the dessert Mont Blanc, so it's like a chocolate orange situation.
All right, I love a situation.
It's got an aromatic cream. It's kind of an alternative also to a espresso martini, I would say.
Ooh, say less.
This one's for Liz.
Say less. I'll have 3.
I thought about you the whole time I was thinking about
the greatest, like, Liv is like, I'm like, Liv, stop with the espresso martinis. You need a drink. And she's like, what should my drink be? We were trying to figure out. Tim and I were trying to figure out
This might be it.
I forgot about this.
This might
This
be
was
it.
good. I don't remember where we landed. Did we have one?
We had all these different varieties, but they weren't just.
We'll just have to do it again.
We're just gonna play that game one
We
more
were
time.
at a casino doing some event. I can't even remember what it was, but it was very funny. So I'm gonna start with 8 eggs. You know, buy the best
Beautiful
eggs that you can.
Look at the yolks.
Yeah, these are
They were eating lots of marigolds.
lots of marigolds. Happy chickens.
Okay, I was just gonna say, what are you supposed to look for when you buy eggs? Is it like pasture, farm, free range? Like, there's a lot of words.
I buy organic, typically, or if you're at the
organic,
farmer's market.
free range, or pasture?
Yeah, kind of all of that.
I would say, one, get the eggs that you could afford, the best eggs you could afford. But like, if you're ranking eggs,
Yes, that's what
I
I'm
would
ranking.
say, number 1, you know the farmer, you're at the farmer's market. That's number 1 variety, and they're raising their you know, you meet the farmer, they're raising their chickens properly, you get beautiful eggs. Number 2, if you're at the grocery store, you know, look for organic, farm-raised eggs. You know, I like some of the heritage breeds that throw blue eggs and stuff like that.
And these are small. You can tell that they're more of a heritage.
Yeah, this is a smaller yolk.
What is the? I like this brand. I saw the carton. It's the one. It's black. It has flowers on it.
Oh, Vital Farms.
Vital Farms.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, Vital Farms are good.
Yeah.
But we, like Liz and I, fortunately, typically we'll just go to the market and just grab eggs. They're a little bit more expensive, but the nice thing is you know, they haven't been.
Well, you know, it's not like, do I get Kraft mac and cheese or the store brand mac and cheese? It's $195. It doesn't matter. But eggs, no, that's produced by a living being.
You buy them at the store, they have one through a process where the shells are washed and this and that and all that stuff. You buy eggs at the farmer's market, you can, because the shells, they're coming from chicken to you, you could leave them out at room temperature because they're protected.
Yeah.
Oh, how long can you leave them out at room temp?
Week. I leave them out. I leave them out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
I never
crazy.
even put them in the fridge.
Yeah.
I've
And
never.
they're totally fine.
Okay.
It's once they're washed that they lose their protective coating, and then
They have to be in the fridge.
Yeah.
refrigerate them.
Okay, got it.
All right, so we have the eggs. I'm gonna put in a little splash of heavy cream.
And I'll take that because I'm going to be using that later.
You're welcome. And then I'll season these too. Like, a lot of people, like, look, I'm making this fast. So, like, people are like, don't put salt in your eggs because it makes them rubbery. If it's a long period of time, that would be the case. But we're going from eggs to pan in pretty quick fashion.
Right.
So I'm.
Iron Gullet, if an 18-count thing of eggs lasted more than a week here, I'd be gobsmacked. I love me eggs, especially scrambled eggs.
I'm not seasoning when they're in the pan. I'm seasoning it now. And Liz, you could give it a couple cracks of black pepper.
Love to.
And while you're doing that, I'm gonna put some rosemary in this, and oh, look at this.
It just happened happen to have some.
Just happen to have some rosemary.
This is not upside down.
So.
No, it's not. I'm upside down, clearly.
It's okay, it's early.
It is.
That's why we're starting with the frittata.
I don't do great in the early hours.
Me either. So, Michael, you're doing this by yourself.
I mean, usually I haven't spoken a word at this point.
Liz and I would when we roll. Oh, cutting.
Pardon.
What's Michael doing on his own? What's he directing on his own? A cuddle session with his two favorite ladies, or early morning double dick sucking?
When we get up in the morning, there's like, Liz does all her puzzles and everything. So I say good morning, I give her a kiss, and then about 2 hours later, we start to talk.
That's my ideal morning.
Yeah,
I mean, not with
mine
you.
too.
It's taken a lot of.
Yeah. My theory is just built on my fucked up mind.
Training to get me to this point because I kind of wake up and I'm ready to rock.
No, I'm
And
Liz.
So
No.
yeah, and I respect it. I respect it.
Need some time.
So we're gonna chop the rosemary
Real fine, right? Okay. And you probably don't need a ton. Oh, with the potatoes and rosemary is
So good,
Yeah.
and feta and rosemary so
Right.
good, and spinach and rosemary so good.
So good.
So I'm gonna put rosemary in here.
Okay.
And then we have these potatoes. Now, we have leftover potatoes, so I'm using leftover potatoes. If you want to put potatoes in, you don't have leftover potatoes, you could just roast.
Sorry. This is.
It's gonna be one of those mornings. So, as I was saying earlier, it was so funny. I'm like, Tim's like, do we need to cook potatoes? You're gonna cook them in the can? And I'm like, oh no, good news, Tim. I was rooting around the fridge last night, and Nick ordered enough food for 72 days, and we just have random potatoes. So we have the potatoes. Nick goes, oh, I forgot I ordered those potatoes.
I knew I was missing something.
And, you could break them up. These have just been like roasted potatoes. You could break them up. You could cut them up. You could smash them.
I like a smash.
If you want to go from raw, you could slice them very thin and kind of fry them in your oil first and then start building from there. But you want to continue to smash.
Sure.
I'm going to put some olive oil in my pan. I have a cast iron pan here. Now, I know you're at home, you're going, wow, this is a grill. I have this huge grill because we entertain a lot, but we just have a small little bit of charcoal there. We could have certainly done this in the green egg too, in retrospect, but we're gonna do it here.
The green egg.
Do you want all these potatoes, by the way, or just?
Nah, I'm gonna say about half of them.
Okay.
Nick will eat the other half.
And I'll save some for Nick since he forgot yours. That's plenty. Okay. And we're gonna put the potatoes in first.
Would you ever do sweet potatoes in here?
Sweet potatoes would be great.
I think it'd be
Here's the
delicious.
beautiful thing about frittata, Liv, and this is going to the leftover thing. I love making frittatas, and just what's in my fridge, I use it up. It goes in. So it could be sweet potatoes, regular potatoes. It could be asparagus. You could have leftover broccoli rabe. You could have, all these different things, and just use them up.
Love.
So it's a great way to use up. I'm just clearing the spots.
So what makes a frittata different from an omelet?
The frittata's baked.
Okay.
Frittata is like, the best way to think about a frittata is it's a slightly more casual quiche.
Okay.
No crust.
Slightly more
Crustless
casual
quiche.
quiche. I like
So
that.
clove of garlic, smashed up, quick mince. And then I'm gonna just throw these in there as the potatoes are going. Right on top, I'm not gonna stir it yet because I wanna put in some shallot. And the shallot, this is a rustic situation. So I am just going to slice up the shallot very thin. This will go in also.
Oh, so you're not gonna?
I'm not even gonna mince it.
dice or
No,
anything.
I'm just gonna slice the shallot thin, throw it in with the garlic and potatoes. Like, this is, you know, it's rustic, it's quick, it's breakfast, feeding everybody. And the great thing about this is you kind of feed a group with it. So onions go in.
Starting to smell lovely.
Yep, Norman's here.
And we're just gonna give this a little whirl. The garlic's gonna start to cook. I'm gonna throw in some of my spinach.
Spinach is one of my favorite things in an omelet.
And I wanted the pan to get kind of hot first before I did this, because this is like a quick saute of spinach. I'm not like letting it like go to full mush.
Right.
I just want to cook it in the hot skillet. A little bit of stickiness on my cast iron today, but it'll be okay.
Doing eggs in a cast iron is kind of crazy. No? I feel like I don't know.
But remember
I sort of like a cast enamel. I feel more confident in the cast enamel.
Yeah, like I just always do meat in a cast iron. I don't know. Eggs.
Right.
But remember, we're baking this.
Yeah.
So it's all going to be okay.
Bit of that oil might.
It's a little stick. I'm going to get a wooden spoon in there.
There's one right behind you.
I know.
Oh, Norman has an egg.
Well, good thing Liz had to clear those eggs.
Aren't eggshells good for
Here,
dogs?
garbage can,
They might be.
basuda. We'll find out
I
in a
always
second.
forget about this handy garbage can.
His coat's going to be shiny today.
He's got some.
All right, so look, spinach is broken down. Potatoes have got some texture. The onions have like sweat a little bit, so they've broken down. The garlic's very aromatic. And now I'm just going to take my egg mixture, pour it on top. I'm going to start, like, move this around a little bit so the eggs start to cook. Like, almost think we're gonna let them, like, start to set a bit. Like, not like scramble, but just get them going. And then I'm gonna take them off the heat, drop the lid. If we were doing this in an oven, you'd be at about 375.
Okay.
And it's gonna cook for about 10-ish to 12-ish minutes till it cooks all the way through. Norm, you looking for more eggshells?
And usually a frittata will get a little good puff, too.
A little puff, yeah.
Yeah. You know the first time I had a frittata? Bet you were wondering.
I was.
My brother.
When you were a
he was
youth?
in high school, yeah.
He made you a frittata?
He made frittata.
Wow, that's
made our
nice.
whole family a frittata, not just me.
Yeah.
All right, so now the last thing
But I was like, that's the coolest thing. I love
You're like,
that.
I like this.
is I'm going to dot it with the feta. I'm not going to mix the feta in. So I put in the feta, and it'll sink a little bit as this bakes and melt, and the eggs will cook,
She's a beaut.
and everybody will be happy.
And you could use any cheese in it.
Any cheese you want.
For sure.
Lid goes down. This is going to be about 325. Open the vents a bit.
It's probably going to
10-ish.
take like, 10 minutes? I was going to say 20 minutes.
No, not 20. We just need to let those eggs cook through.
That grill, unless I'm completely wrong about something, but that grill is the Weber Rancher. Yeah, that's, I think, a $2,500 grill.
All right. Show me what you got, Liz.
All right. What I like about this are several things. But I like that you can make this in batches and stick it in your fridge. And then
have
all
it
you
every
have to do
morning
is
when you
pour the
wake up.
cream over the top. Every morning, yeah, you just...
Breakfast of champions.
So this has something for everyone. Has a little bourbon for you. And you could use, if you wanted to go more like into the, Jameson's, the Irish whiskey or something, you could do that as well.
Little
But I've
Jack
got,
Daniels.
so I've got coffee liqueur, Grand Marnier, any kind of orange Cointreau would be great, and a Kentucky bourbon. All right, so we're gonna put equal parts of orange liqueur, whiskey, and coffee liqueur in here. And I'm not really eyeballing, but I'm kind of eyeballing. I'm gonna go 1.5 of each of these. Maybe 2 of this, maybe.
Funny because all the years, like when I met you, you used to bartend more often.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw you use a jigger ever.
Well, we had the pours. Do counts. I don't have those here. At here.
At here.
At here.
All right. Now, just go ahead and fill that up with cold brew.
And it's about 4 parts cold brew to 1 part of each liquor.
Yes, approximately. I'm going to use 2 cans here, so.
Thank you, Jolene.
You're welcome. Oh.
You're still Liz.
Yes. All right, so once you do this, you know what? I just feel like it needs a little more orange flavor.
I love when you just do that without tasting. You're like, nope, it's in my gut.
I know it. I know it's going to need more. Okay, so now you have this. Like, you could do this the night before your brunch and then just throw the lid on it, throw it in your fridge, get it chilled, and you're good to go. I'm actually going to stick this on a little ice. Just Erewhon, your lids don't ever go back on the same way.
The good thing is, though, is you put it in our single Erewhon jug, and you could charge
I'm not
$1
going to even do
million.
that so it doesn't spill.
$1 million.
Okay, so we've got that
going. This is what a bullshit lid. Erewhon, do better.
I'm going to tell them.
Good.
I mean.
Oh my God. All right, forget it.
No, I know that. See, I tried that already.
You've been struggling. You're on the struggle bus a little this morning, so I thought maybe it was the lid too.
No.
How about cream? Do we need cream?
We do. Well, I thought we were going to finish it. I didn't know if you were going to check in your frittata.
Good. Let's go.
I say the sooner we can drink, the better, you know?
We got time
All
for
right.
cream.
All right.
Eggs or egging?
Love it. So if you watched our shows that were on before, we did whipped cream this way a lot, like just in a mason jar and shake it. So we're going to try it again.
So this is a good, obviously, brunchy type cocktail because of the
I'm
coffee.
sorry, heavy cream, vanilla. I'm just going to throw the ingredients in here real quick. And what's going to make this, while I'm doing that, what's going to make this aromatic is some orange bitters. So I think this is going to give it like a little bit of depth. Just a little. Couple shakes. And you could use a vanilla syrup in this if you wanted, you know, take a vanilla bean and make a simple syrup. I know this looks like a lot of sugar, but it's kind of not. Yeah.
That's the point, right?
Yeah. So we're going to go there. And I think that's it for my cream. What were you saying?
This is a very fun brunch drink. You could get everything started in that, and then you're taking that and then garnishing it with, it's a chilled drink with whipped cream.
Yeah.
This is not a hot coffee
And
drink.
this isn't going to be a stiff, like, dollop whipped cream. I want it to be like a pourable.
Got it.
So we're not going to have to do quite as much shaking.
All right. Sure you don't want me to shake?
Yeah, this is Michael's workout for the day.
Maybe I need a workout.
Guns of steel.
Are you still sore from the
You're both terrible.
last
I
episode?
am. This isn't screwed on.
It was fine for
Set
me.
up for death. All right. I know. I saw what was
fine.
happening there.
Your jowls.
Thank God. I am never, ever, like, people are like, when are you going to shave your beard? I'm like, no, somewhere around never. It's never happening again. Like, I saw me when I had my little chubby phase without the beard, and I was significantly more youthful, like 20 years ago. I'm like, someone should talk to me. Had a little talk.
I know that you're. Don't shake it anymore.
You're the worst.
It's still morning. I think you overshooked.
I didn't overshake.
Yeah, you did.
That's
Can you
perfection.
pour that? No, you certainly
No, just
cannot.
wait. Oh, thank you, Grey Coons. No garlic on that thing.
I'm gonna.
Okay, so if you overshake, you could add a
I'm
little
gonna
more.
add a little cream since Michael overshooked.
It was perfect.
It wasn't perfect.
It's so strong. I put all my jowls into it, Nick. Deputy dog.
All right, this will be fine. Just need a little. It's tasty.
The hell does a frittata on the smoke?
How's your frittata coming over there?
I'm okay. Gotta get a little more heat.
Man down.
By the time we have the drink, we should be good.
Oh, are we going for it?
Look, we're going for it.
All
I
right.
need more frittata time. Stop, frittata time.
All right. Let's see how I can pour out of a mason jar. Just 1, 2. Ooh. I'm trying to be kind of even here, so everybody gets a little piece.
Oh my God.
And this, is actually, I was just gonna say, I don't think it's got a lot of alcohol in it.
It's 8:30. You don't know this at home right now, but it's 8:30 a.m.
I know, but okay.
You want a smaller spoon?
If you wouldn't have overshook it.
I put a perfect, the king of spoons is right next to you.
I like going this way.
Yeah, but you don't know what her vision was.
You don't know what's in my head. It's lucky for you, you don't.
Oh boy, I'd run.
That looks delicious.
See, it wouldn't be in dollops if it wasn't overshooked. But
I don't mind a dollop.
But it's just us, right? I mean, I'm kind of going because, the black coffee, you need all this luscious cream on top.
I'm just gonna start doing this
every
little
tool I got.
mixture and leaving it in the fridge and saying it's like my cold brew, and no one's gonna know that I start drinking in the morning.
This isn't alcohol. This
it's my
morning.
Actually,
morning coffee.
is kind of
Okay.
a cool
All
idea.
right, I guess
Looking
I
kinda-
see what you mean now with my
See, I
overshake.
just wanted it to kind of melt into that, but
Still gonna be delicious.
maybe I'll just give it a little stir so it
Yeah.
looks more like a latte. How's that?
Yeah.
We can fix Michael's mistake, no problem.
You've been doing that for how many years?
So many years.
He's out.
Okay. All right. Let's give it a whirl, shall we?
Yes. Oh my gosh, look at that perfectly shooken cream.
Yeah.
Shaken, shooken.
Shooken?
Shooken.
I shooken it up.
Cheers.
Oh,
Cheers.
Sorry. Rude again.
Rude.
You just were excited.
Oh, this is so dangerous.
Wow.
Real dangerous.
I don't taste the alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just got the right amount of sweetness, though. With the Grand Marnier. That's why I added a little bit more. I just want a little bit more of that orange flavor.
If anybody watches the news today and they see man streaking down Lincoln Boulevard, be like that Will Ferrell movie.
Is that what you do when you've had too much to drink? You go streaking?
Maybe you're younger
Thank
in my
God
life.
you don't really drink too much anymore.
Yeah, thank God I control my
that
consumption.
would not work for me.
What was the Will Ferrell movie when he was
I forget.
old school? The only one, all alone. Hey everybody, if you like what we are cooking,
Or you like what we're drinking,
Or you just like us and our witty banter.
click the link below and subscribe, whether it's YouTube or Spotify or however you're watching. Oh, baby. Oh, look, we're pretty much
starting to puff.
we're
Puffin'.
almost set. Let me just give it a little.
Little pan release. Pretty thing.
I'm gonna give it 2 more seconds.
Yeah. I like it.
Do you guys have anything exciting to talk about?
Liv does.
Yes,
Liv always does.
I do.
Yeah.
Liv, what was it, since you're the closest one to college, like Edward, streaking
God,
down
that is
Lincoln,
such a
what was
compliment.
the craziest thing you ever did in college?
Oh, that is
Does she want to say that?
not safe for this environment. Okay, but I will just toot my own horn, and I will say I was Sigma Chi's sweetheart.
She got up some shit, some lesbianic shit.
What does that mean?
Oh my God, what? You guys?
Oh,
didn't
Sigma
have-
Chi's a
It's
dude
a frat. It's a frat, and the sweetheart is like the best friend of the frat, and you have to I don't know if they do it anymore, but you have to go through
Hot.
this thing called 10 girl, whatever. You go through their challenges, and I won.
I guarantee you, and Jake, go ahead, call me, say, you're disgusting. I guarantee you that involved her licking at least one chick's pussy in that fraternity. At least one. And I almost wanted to go at least 3. That chick, her tongue knows things. It's been places.
Really proud of myself. Yeah.
Off camera, you
15
tell me
years
about
later.
those
Was
challenges.
Daniel a Sigma Chi?
because
No.
That's scaring me.
Oh!
So my husband was not a Sigma Chi.
Uh-oh.
But so he loves to say, like, you know, I got this.
So she married down, and now her husband is a cock.
Sigma Chi sweetheart to marry a Sig Hep. But
I don't even know what you're saying.
Who was
Yeah.
cooler
That means
at UCLA, Sigma Chi's or Sig Eps?
depends on who you ask. And it depends on the year, you know? I'm really dating myself.
Not really. I guess I am because I don't know what she's talking about. You know what? This smells incredible. And I love the addition of the rosemary in there.
Thank you.
I like that aromatic.
Using my good knife, your good knife for this, but I probably should.
all right.
The first one is always the
tricky one.
The hardest one.
Okay, my mother-in-law will sometimes make a frittata and then like, maybe it's not a frittata, but it's like a frittata, it's an egg dish, and then leave it in the oven for like a day or 2. But doesn't that seem weird? Shouldn't you store it in a fridge?
I am not getting involved.
I'm not either. I've never seen that done before. Let's
Right?
just put it that way.
But that being said, your mother-in-law is a very good cook.
Yeah. So I guess.
So she knows what she's doing. I know how much you love these oval plates, which is why I brought them out. But
It's
come to find out, they might be a little large for this.
this is.
Their dog is going nuts. I don't know what that's like.
Which is fine. But if you had a little fruit or something on the side.
Well, I mean, it's a quiche. It's not a
I do love
steak dinner.
It's a frittata.
What? I'm sorry.
I do love an egg dish because I feel like it can be breakfast or lunch.
Oh.
It could be
look,
dinner.
Dinner.
Yeah,
I am an eggs
sort of-
all day
I
kind
do.
of person, and like, if you can't eat eggs for every meal, we can't be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I love eggs so much.
You know what? The
Same.
oval plates would have been good if we had like a nice piece of sourdough with like a little fruit salad.
I think so too. Or just like a little fruit. Mm-hmm.
This looks delicious. Which
Here,
one do you
Liv,
want to
you
save?
take that one.
Oh, I'm so confused right now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's see.
My brain
see what
just
we got.
fully shut off.
Take another sip of your drink. It'll turn right back on.
Wow. Oh my gosh, I love the rosemary in here.
Quite femme-dommy up here. Don't you think, lads? Okay, smoking, grilling, AB. Yada, yada, yada.
Everything that I've been doing has been like really that down home, you know, that southern, you know, cooking, right? So today I'm finna show you how to do an old school smothered pork chops and potatoes. They're gonna be all done in one dish, so let's get it. Okay, so like we always do, we like to fly over these ingredients so you guys can see exactly what you're working with, and then I'll explain them, right? But don't forget the full ingredient list along with the instructions and measurements is on my website, smokingandgrillingwithab.com, and that's WITAB.com, right? So now I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out here just like this, and I'm gonna show you. I separate everything into as I need them, right? So this right here, these 5 bowls right here is gonna help me. This is what I'm gonna season with and get my pork chops ready, right? I'm gonna explain all of the rest, but right now we finna get right into this video. And then just talking about the tools that I'm gonna be using my cast iron skillet. Obviously I got a lid, this helps. You know what I mean? For those of you guys that don't have a lid for your skillets, if you don't have one, you can always just put a piece of foil over the top. But this right here would be best practice. All right, so I just moved my pork chops here. What I'm gonna do is add all of my ingredients in here like this, minus, my flour, right? Because we're just gonna dust the flour, on top. So, I don't know if you guys heard, but everything to the left of me, when I get to my sink, I got my hot, soapy water, right? Now I'm gonna go ahead and cook like most of us do. Best to use a whisk, but now I'm just gonna use a fork, right? And this is gonna be the seasoning that we use. you know, to put on our pork chops. Now, if you don't have none of my seasonings, you know what I mean, I suggest you guys can use the A, you know what I mean, the SPG work good with this too, you know what I mean, but this is a nice blend, and again, it's in the recipe, you know, index on my website, so it should look something like that. All right, now I'm gonna take these have already been patted dry as, let me just do it again. You know, once you pat your pork chops dry or any protein, even though they dry on the underside, they start to become, you know, a little tacky and moist, right? So we just get it like this. Now that water moisture that's in there, once that's gone, as much as we can get it, that'll help us with that crust too, along with the flour. Now, I'm gonna take this. Actually, we're gonna go ahead and do it like this. Let's get it right. All right, and now we just go ahead and season. I'll start off a little bit on the light side to make sure I got enough. Depends on how many chops you guys are gonna try to stretch this out to do.
Dude, how old is
Right?
this?
Now, one of the questions you guys will probably ask is, can you do this with bone in, or can you do it with, you know, boneless?
2 days ago? What, did you just record a bunch of shit before summer vacation or something?
You guys can do it any kind of way you want to. This actual technique works for any type of meat, even country style. If you guys want to do that, country style, you know, pork, that works too. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is, look, I'm coming with my little kosher salt. You know what I mean? We're gonna add a little bit this to it. Then I'm gonna flip them over. Then we're gonna start dusting. Now would be a good time for you guys to go, especially if you're using a cast iron, let's go ahead and put the fire underneath that. Then we're gonna use this extra virgin olive oil or whatever cooking oil you guys have. But it'll be nice if everybody can start to cook with like extra virgin. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and just put a little bit of oil in here, right? Now we got a fire underneath the bottom here already. So I'm gonna go ahead and reduce this down to a medium-high heat. All right, so remember we talked about dusting? Look at this, this is what I mean. We just go ahead and just sprinkle it on here. We're not doing the traditional, you know, fry like we normally do. You know what I mean? That's why I season, right directly onto the meat. Normally, if I was gonna fry these, you know, like in, let's just say I was gonna use some like oil, like to deep fry them.
Like, seriously, does he only have one person and just a cell phone? What is this? But anyway, that's all I'm gonna do for tonight. Good night, everybody.